this particular subject is something that I have a great deal of familiarity with. I have been engaging my SRO hotel in a seemingly never-ending quest for them to do the right thing and have us live in some place that's worth $493 a month instead of the conditions which we live in, which is a dilapidated 107-year-old plus building. For San Francisco, that's not too unusual, but you know, if you're going to be charging people rent, you should give them what they pay for, not a building that can acquire 30 plus Department of Building Inspection violations legitimately. All of them were absolutely legitimately issued over the course of me complaining. So I have quite a bit of an experience because of that with the Department of Building Inspection and the Planning Department here in the city of San Francisco, and understand the power of those agencies, the subtlety of them, and just how much they control how people conduct their day-to-day lives. These are regulations that fly under the radar. They're administrative regulations. They don't really come up to the level of law, but they can be imposed by the city, and they are city law. So it's a very subtle way of regulating and controlling something, people's private property and how they use that private property, which is basically where you live. It's a very subtle way and a very effective way of doing that, all under the radar without, you know, a whole bunch of fanfare. It's a way of controlling you through bureaucracy. So I have a familiarity with what this Agenda 21 is and what she's talking about in the video there. And it's also kind of interesting to me that I didn't really learn about this until maybe about a year ago, but I can see the power of it, as you can see from the little pictures that I've got posted that have links to them, that it affects more than just where you live. It affects your private property, and it's an encompassing set of small little bureaucratic regulatory laws run through both federal and local agencies that control just about every single thing you do in life. Your car, my truck was taken because of environmental laws. You know, they just confiscated it, and then I get stuck with a bill for, you know, I guess $5,000, something like that, for taking my property. And the place where I live, you know, the 150 square foot room that I live in is what Agenda 21 proponents think is sustainable and environmentally friendly living. Now, I can tell you that living in a 150 foot square room and conducting your whole life in that one room, your whole affairs in that one space, in that amount of space, is not what I would consider living. It's very difficult. You come up with unique set of problems that, you know, if you just had more space you wouldn't have, and you don't get to own anything. It practically necessitates you being destitute. And if you do cram too much stuff into that 150 square foot little space, guess what? They have another bureaucracy, the Department of Health, to come in and tell you that you're harboring. You know, so they even control how much property you can own with that. So this is very serious, and I believe it when they say that this is how they are going to gain ultimate control of you. This is the tip of the sword as far as tyrannical overreach of government is concerned. So listen to the video. I know it's a little bit long. I'm going a little bit long-winded here, but like I said, I have personal experience with this, and believe me, I can't express to you how important it is to recognize that Agenda 21 exists, recognize that it's sponsored by the United Nations, who, if you do any research, want to establish a satanic temple within the building of the United Nations, and they have satanically inspired sculpture and architecture already there. Feng Shui on steroids, no insult to the Japanese. But it comes from the UN, that wants to establish a one-world government. And that's basically what I think our administration is doing right now. President Obama, he's taking down America so that it can be reborn again into this United Nations dream of a global government. So this is it. This is basically the plan that they're going for, and it's in every city, every township, every village, every community throughout America, and it's viewed as smart development, sustainable development, and it's coming in through environmental laws, and the environmental agencies have been co-opted and hijacked by these tyrannical globalist overlords, for lack of a better way of saying it, to use some Alex Jones terminology. But yeah, I've seen this lady before, and she's really good at explaining the whole thing. So watch this and pay attention, because this is where the battle is actually won and lost.